Hey guys, what's going on? So, just over a week ago, I hit 1,000 subscribers, and I am so happy and so thrilled that 1,000 people said they wanted to watch what I do consistently. It means a lot to me, so I wanted to say thank you. And I announced I was going to do a Q&A, and a bunch of you guys asked some questions, so here it is. Let's do a Q&A video. First up, John asked, what is your favorite iOS 11 feature? I'm going to cop out and I'm going to say two because it's my Q&A and I can. My two favorite iOS 11 features are the Files app and Drag and Drop. Files, because it's such a great way to organize all of your stuff. Honestly, I'll admit I was one of the people that said you don't need a Finder or Files app on iPad because it wasn't the way the platform worked. As soon as it came out and as soon as I got to play around with it, my mind was instantly changed. It just makes so much more sense. So I was wrong about that. I'm a big man. I can admit when I was wrong. So I was wrong about that. Drag and drop, on the other hand, I've been saying since day one that the iPad needed. I'm so happy it's finally here. Drag and drop is one of those features that it just makes so much sense on the iPad, and the way Apple implemented it, it's really, really awesome. I'm really excited to use that more. Right now, I've been using it with the Apple applications. It doesn't really work with the third-party applications just yet because they'll have to update their apps for that. Let's move on. Knut from Norway asks, I have not done research on this yet, but I use iCloud Drive when I have to, Google Drive for work, Dropbox for personal stuff. Do you have any thoughts on receiving files in zip format? Yes, I do. I do all of my work with zip formats using the Workflow app. I have two workflows, one for unzipping zip files and then saving them to cloud storage. Right now I'm having it saved to iCloud Drive because I'm using the Files app. And then I have another workflow that'll take files in my cloud storage, zip them up, and then we'll send them out. So I will put both those workflows in the description below. You can check them out, tweak them, make them work to however you want. Knut also asks, there are website-only services one needs to upload files to. For me, this is when the development team completes a new app and I manage the iTunes Connect and Google Play Store with uploads of apps, images, and so on. On iOS, the browsers are blocked from accessing the file system. I think iOS 11 will fix this for you. I've had a lot of websites that I upload files stuff to. Now when I hit the upload button, there's an option to get to the Files app, so you can hit that, and as long as your content is saved in there, you should be able to upload it from there. So I think iOS 11 will fix that problem for you. Knut's final question, he says, and finally, what I miss most about the iPad is a decent connection to an external screen. The funny part is when I'm traveling, I'm using the Galaxy 8 and DeckStation for a large screen and my 12.9-inch iPad for my portable work. How have you solved this with your iPad setup? I have not. I have a 27-inch 4K monitor. I spent like half a day with my iPad plugged into it while I was writing on it, and I didn't like it. So for me personally, my thought is the best screen for the best iOS device right now is the 12.9-inch iPad Pro. Hopefully, I can see one day Apple making a iPad-like device, not necessarily an iPad, not portable, but more of a desktop class computer that's touchscreen, that runs iOS, but plugs into the wall, and it can be like a 27-inch, 24-inch screen. I think that would be pretty cool. I would definitely line up and buy one of those day one. Steve asked a couple of questions. He asked, what iOS 11 content do you have planned? I have loads of iOS 11 content planned. Thank you for asking, Steve. First off, I am going to be doing a really big review focused around iOS 11 and how it works with the iPad. Because that's kind of my deal here, is I do a lot with the iPad. So I'm going to hopefully have that out the same day iOS 11 comes out. I don't like to work on reviews. Well, okay, so I've been working on the review. I've been writing an outline. I've been writing a script for the review while the beta period's been going on, and I've been updating it as betas come out, but I don't like finalizing stuff until it's at least at the gold master stage, and what that is for people that aren't in the development community is that means it's the final beta. This is what's going to ship to the public, and this is the final beta testers will be getting, so this is the final release. I personally don't feel it's fair to talk so much about stuff that's in beta. And I know I've done a couple videos on some iOS 11 stuff. That's mostly just how it works. This isn't, it wasn't meant to be, hey, this is my final review of iOS 11. So I will be doing a big iOS 11 review. Hopefully I can get it done in that week in between the Gold Master comes out and iOS 11 comes out, and I can have it come out the same day as iOS 11. So that'll be pretty great. I'm looking forward to that. It should be pretty awesome. And then what I'm going to do after my iOS 11 review comes out is I'm going to do a bunch of little videos about smaller features and stuff that I couldn't go as in-depth to in my iOS 11 review. Steve also asked, how do I handle files on an external drive? I get this question a lot, so I'm going to do a whole video on this because there's lots of different stuff you can do. You can get the USB camera connection kit if you have external drives that just have photos and videos on. You can import those to the the Photos app. I'm disappointed iOS 11 doesn't give you the option to import stuff from an external drive into the Files app. So that'll be on my iOS 12 wish list. Say that 5 times fast. So hopefully that comes with iOS 12. Really bummed it's not in iOS 11 because that would be a big feature. You also can't upload files to an external drive just using the standard Apple stuff. There are flash drives. There's USB Lightning flash drives that you can plug into your device that work with third-party apps that you can upload files to. So I'm going to do a big in-depth video about how to handle files on external drives. I also cheat. I have a file server here, so I can take video projects and my final videos and I upload them to an local FTP server. So I have to be on this network, but it makes things a little bit easier so I don't have to plug drives in or move things to cloud storage. I just move it straight to a file server. Tiff asks, do you like the regular iPhone size or the iPhone Plus size? I'm an iPhone Plus person. I have the iPhone 7 Plus jet black. In fact, it's what I am filming this video on right now. So I like that. I like the Plus size because I have big hands. I like the extra screen size. I like the better camera, the better battery life. All around, it's great for me. I understand those that don't like the Plus size because it's just unwieldy. For me, it's great. Roger asked, move from MacBook Pro to iPad Pro without using iCloud. I guess it's technically possible. You could take your iPad, plug it into your MacBook Pro, and sync stuff via iTunes. But honestly, you're asking for a lot of problems. You're asking for a really big headache. I'm sure there's reasons why you don't want to use iCloud, and I'm guessing it's probably privacy stuff. You don't want your stuff in the cloud. I get that. You could move it locally using iTunes. That's probably about it. I know there's some third-party software you can get that you can move stuff into the quote-unquote file system for iOS. You're kind of asking for problems. It'll be so much easier if you can do it with iCloud. I'm planning on doing a video talking about moving from a PC or Mac to full-time iPad. But I will just say up front, it's going to focus heavily on using iCloud because I think you're asking for problems, and I think it's going to be a lot harder if you do it without using iCloud. Adam asked, how do I manage backups on your device? Or how do you manage backups on your device? Sorry. So I do a couple of things. So first off, I do use iCloud. I pay for the 200 gigs limit. So I believe that it's $3 a month for 200 gigs of iCloud storage. And what that does is I do encrypted backups of my iPad, or both iPads, and my iPhone. That's really handy to do. The encrypted backup requires you have two-factor authentication on your iCloud account, not two steps. So there was two-step authentication for a little while, and then Apple implemented two-factor authentication. So you have to have the two-factor authentication on in order to do an encrypted backup. If you don't, it just does a regular backup, so it backs up your like contacts and backs up like some documents and stuff like that sync with iCloud, but it doesn't back up like what apps and stuff you have installed. If you have an encrypted backup and you restore from an encrypted backup, it's just like you just picked up your iPad again. It has to re-download everything, but all your settings and all your stuff will be there. You just have to re-sign into everything. So that's how I do that. I also have all my documents backed up to Dropbox, so I have the option of doing revisioning with Dropbox. So I can go back and pull up previous versions of that. I believe Dropbox goes up to 30 days for the free plan, and then I think if you do the paid plan, it goes up even further. So yeah, there's that. So you can look into that. And then for stuff like LumaFusion project files and stuff, there's an option in LumaFusion to back up projects. So you can take the project, back it up to a cloud service. So I've been backing mine up to the Files app, which syncs with iCloud. So that's how I've been doing backups on my device. I wish there was another third-party cloud service, but to be honest, you can't really do that with the way iOS currently sets up. So that's just how it works. Final question. Mark asks, thoughts on jailbreaking? I have lots of thoughts. Don't do it. Jailbreaking requires taking advantage of security holes in your device. And when you take advantage of security holes, you're opening your device up to malicious software. And honestly, it's not that I'm doing anything bad or I have anything bad on my iPad or iPhone or anything like that. I just feel my personal stuff, my personal security is important, and if I'm compromising that, I'm compromising, and I'm compromising the security on my device, I'm compromising my personal security and my personal information. So I don't like jailbreaking. I know there's cool features and stuff you can do with jailbreaking, but with the way iOS has been growing, lately with like the last few iOS versions, I can't think of a reason why I'd want to jailbreak. There's like little tweaks and stuff like getting rid of app names underneath the icons and stuff like that. Yeah, okay, that'd be pretty cool, but to me that's not worth jailbreaking for. So that's it on questions. If you guys have any more questions, I will put my Twitter handle in the description below. You can tweet at me, and I would love to hear more questions. And if I get I'll add them to a document, and when I get enough, I'll just do another Q&A video. If this is something you guys would like to see regularly, just send them on over to me. Again, thank you guys to everybody that subscribed, liked, watched, commented, shared. It means a lot to me. When I wake up and I get those, and I read comments pretty much in the morning. Sometimes I'll check them when I get home from work, but when I read them in the morning and I'm like, hey, and I see these are really nice, positive comments, that means a lot to me. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Like I said, I'm going to have loads of iOS 11 content planned, so stuff might get a little more spread out until iOS 11 comes out, but you're going to see a lot of cool videos coming out here in the very, very near future. So thanks again, guys. Have a great day.